How's it going, Yankee fans? Welcome back to Fireside Yankees with your boys Alex and Ryan. If you haven't checked out the video we recorded earlier today, actually 2 videos today, plenty of content to consume. Ben Rice profile breakdown from Ryan, really great stuff. If you want to learn about this kind of prospect who is taking the Yankees farm by storm right now, he won their Hitter of the Year award this past season. He was excellent in Double-A, and he could be our future first baseman, guys. Rizzo is only under contract for 1 more year. Ben Rice could be that guy in the future, and he's also obviously a catcher as well, so, you know, maybe he takes some big defensive developmental steps there as well, and we'll see how he kind of progresses through this minor league system, but really promising prospect. Go check him out. In the second video, Clarke Schmidt. How good is this guy going to be? Clarke Schmidt obviously was left out of the Juan Soto trade. They wanted Michael King, but, you know, Clarke Schmidt's legit. He's got really, really good stuff, and he just needs to put it all together, and he could be a really good starting pitcher for us for a long time. But right now, we're going to talk about how the Yankees dodged a pretty big free agent bullet. Now, we know how aggressive they were with Juan Soto. We heard rumors, inklings that they were interested in Cody Bellinger, that they wanted to see what his market was like. And according to Jack Curry of the S Network, they were never really in on Cody Bellinger. And thank goodness, because that contract, and in my opinion, I think we dodged a big bullet there in free agency, because right now, you see the Giants just got Jung Hoo Lee to play center field. He got, what, over $100 million over how many years? Over 4 years. He has an out after the 4th season, I believe. I think maybe it was 6 years. Like, you see this, the teams are really like kind of overlooking Bellinger entirely right now. They don't really know what his market looks like. You know, he wanted $150+ million, probably more than that. And, you know, I don't think he's going to get it. And we're going to talk about why the Yankees made a really good decision avoiding that contract, because it just screams regression to me. And I know you as well. So, you know, how you do today, my friend? And what are your thoughts on the fact that we've passed on Cody Bellinger and his market seems to be tumbling?
Yeah, so looking at Cody Bellinger, I mean, look, the guy is probably a good player. Like, he is a good defensive center fielder, and I think he's going to be an above-average hitter. But was he going to be an impact, like, change-your-lineup kind of hitter? The type of guy that you throw into your lineup, giving him a 9-figure contract and say, you're going to hit third for this team, you are, you know, the guy who's helping out Aaron Judge, whatever it may be. You know, this is not what Cody Bellinger is. Cody Bellinger is not that, hey, go out there and give me a 130 WRC plus and, you know, go match up with Aaron Judge. Look, and I know that this is going to sound a little bit like, you know, I'm, you know, saying the Yankees have turned a brand new leaf, and you know, the Yankees are going to go out and win the World Series every year, and they're back, and they're going to have another dynasty run. That's not what I'm saying. What I am saying is that a year ago or 2 years ago, if the Cody Bellinger and Juan Soto thing happened, and, you know, those 2 players were available, one on the trade market, one on the free agent market, the Yankees walk away with Bellinger every single time. They settle for second best. They settle for, you know, the good, not great, the risky buy, whatever it may be. But this time around, they went for the cream of the crop. They went for the best guy available, and that was Juan Soto, and it was the right call. Look, I know people are saying, you traded for Juan Soto, and you know, you traded assets for Juan Soto, and, you know, now you only have 1 year with him, and Cody Bellinger would be a secure multi-year investment. You know what you're getting over the course of the 6-7 years, and he's not going to leave. Yeah, I'd rather trade Michael King for Juan Soto and risk the chance of him not coming back than guarantee 6 or 7 years to Cody Bellinger. I mean, good Lord, right? And you could argue that would have precluded the team from the Yoshinobu Yamamoto sweepstakes, right? You know, I never bought into this idea that the Yankees, you know, looked at his profile, him being Bellinger, and said, this is the type of guy they need to have on their team, right? And look, there are points in time in the offseason where I was like, hey, $125 million over 5 years, I'd do it. You know, $140 million over 6 years, I'd consider it. The guy's asking for $200 million. Absolutely not, right? Like, that's just not happening, right? Like, you can't just, look, everybody wants, you know, certain things in life. And Cody Bellinger wants a contract of, like, what? I think it was $252 million according to MLB Network, right? Yeah, there's a bit, look, there's a better chance that the Yankees end up winning 162 games than a team ends up going out and giving Cody Bellinger a $252 million contract. And as you mentioned, his market has completely tumbled. And I know some people are suggesting, what if the Yankees go back to him? Absolutely not. No. Just no, right? Like, you are in pursuit of Yamamoto. Maybe, look, maybe they take the Yamamoto money and say, hey, we didn't get Yamamoto. We're going to go, you know, see what we can do with that money. Maybe, you know, throw it around. I know Michael Marino, when he came on the podcast, said, yeah, the Yankees really they're not interested in paying the money that Matt Chapman wants. But, you know, things change, right? Like, when, you know, when you miss out on guys or when you land guys or whatever it may be, the money you have available to make investments change. But I've tweeted this out multiple times, and I stand firm on this. If they don't get Yamamoto, they should not throw any of that money at another player just to make a move, right? Be smart with it. Make the right financial decisions. The star on the market is no longer there for you to say, screw it, let's give him all the money in the world, you know, and kind of pocket that money and say, all right, let's prepare ourselves potentially this winter to say, Juan Soto, Scott Boras, or I guess Scott Boras. Juan Soto did say, you know who you can talk to when it comes to an extension, and that person's not Juan Soto, it's Scott Boras. And I know he doesn't do extensions, but maybe you go up to Scott Boras and say, all right, look, here is $600 million over 15 years. I want this guy to be a New York Yankee for as long as it takes, for as long as we can possibly have him. And I'm sorry, but Scott Boras sees $600 million. He may not say yes. But, I mean, good Lord, you got to at least consider it, right? It's $600 million. But, you know, overall, like, I don't see a world in which signing Cody Bellinger is productive for this team. You just traded for Alex Verdugo. You just traded for Trent Grisham. You know, you have outfield options. You do not need to go out and try to get Cody Bellinger an overpriced contract. And Alex, you know this just as well as me, right? He's going to go out, and if we signed him, he's going to immediately regress and spend like half of his career on the IL and barely play for us. That's the course of action here. I'm sorry. Like, that's just how things would go for the New York Yankees. I know you've mentioned this on the podcast before, but yeah, Cody Bellinger and the Yankees, stay clear.
Yeah, I mean, look, right now, I'm looking at what we have in terms of Juan Soto, Alex Verdugo, and Aaron Judge, and that is perfect for me, you know what I mean? You can have, Judge is a fine center fielder, Verdugo, and actually, in my opinion, I think that Verdugo is going to have a little bit of a renaissance right now this upcoming season. You know, Red Sox, obviously, not a great team the last couple of years. The Yankees are going to be pushing for a World Series. I think that Verdugo, as kind of Aaron Boone said, he's a gamer. Like, he's just a guy that is very like an emotional player. I think that he's going to kind of feed off of this energy of this World Series aspirations and these lofty goals the Yankees do have. And based on the fact that he's a lefty bat, it definitely translates well for the Yankees in their stadium. I could see him get like a 110 WRC plus, which would be awesome for us. I would love to get 110 WRC plus from Verdugo. Obviously, we know Juan Soto and Judge are going to combine for like over a 300 WRC plus, which is ridiculous. And I think that ultimately, you know, you look at what Soto and Judge can do together, they can carry an offense on their own backs. Look, I like Cody Bellinger, and the reason I like Cody Bellinger is because if he doesn't play in the outfield, he could transition to first base full time and be a really good player there. And you know, he's a good defender. Yeah, I think he played almost more first base last year than outfield. So you see how the Cubs got him involved. I think he played about 430 innings at first base and about 630 or 650 at in center field. So, you know, they really used him pretty in flexible ways. But Bellinger's offense really concerns me. And I think as a lot of people would reference, over the last 3 years, he's only had one great season. And yes, he's had a couple of great seasons in the past, but the inconsistencies are something the Yankees cannot really deal with. Like, if you get Bellinger instead of Soto in a different reality, you know, you're hoping that he can run back 2023, and the likelihood of that happening is rather low. He's going to regress. That contract he's trying to get money for what he did last season instead of what he's done for the last 3 years combined. And that's the way that I look at free agents personally. I look at Juan Soto. You're paying him for what he's done for 3 consecutive years, not what he's done for 1 year in the 2 years before that were really bad. You're getting an elite player in the middle of his prime who every year shows up and plays almost every single game, you know, knock on wood. Bellinger is not that guy. So, you know, personally, I'm really happy with how the Yankees went about this offseason. They overhauled their outfield. They got some really good players. They got some guys that are durable. Verdugo's played, I think, a minimum of 130 games for 3 consecutive years too. So you see this. You see exactly what the Yankees did. They got younger, they got more durable, and they got better overall. And Bellinger just did not necessarily fit that mold for what we wanted long-term in terms of consistency, because like you referenced, he's had injury issues in the past. So, however, with that being said, I'm really curious to see what they do at first base in the future. I know I referenced Ben Rice before, but the Yankees have a couple of big decisions to make. You know, Rizzo has a club option at $20 million for the 2025 season. The Yankees could pick that up, or they could let it walk. They could let him go and move on and find a different player. Rice could be an alternative option. They could go after a free agent, or they just pick it up and say, you know what, Rizzo, he's coming off a really, really great year. We think that paying him is worth it. And, you know, they keep him around for the final season of that contract. But, guys, always happy to hear perspectives here. I think that we did dodge a bullet. I think you guys would agree. If not, would love to hear your perspectives. Always happy to have good conversation down below. Make sure to like and subscribe as always. And we'll catch you guys on the next Fireside Yankees episode.